everyone, hope you're all doing well, and thank you for tuning into Moose Motion. Now that we have two monkeys in the studio, I say, it's time for the return of the dinosaurs today, so Indominus Rex is now on the way. On the part 1 fun of the Jurassic World Hybrid Dinosaur today, we'll be making Indominus Rex's skeleton, you could say. And as I make some fossils today, I'll be explaining away this hybrid monster, I do say. The Indominus Rex is one of the latest attractions added to the Jurassic World with the intent to increase profits. The hybrid creature was created by modifying the genome of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, which was used as a base with the DNA of various other theropods, including Velociraptor, Carnotaurus, Giganotosaurus, Scorpius Rex, Majungasaurus, Rugops, Dinosuchus, and Therizinosaurus. And just to add to this amalgamation, they also used the DNA from modern-day animals such as cuttlefish, tree frogs, and a pit viper. The Indominus Rex in the film was about 40 feet long, but would reach 50 feet when fully grown, and approximately 18 feet tall. At first sight, the hybrid resembles a T-Rex in its basic body layout, but with numerous differences including a pale gray-white skin color, a different shaped head with crocodile-like jaws and teeth, a dermal exoskeleton with large forelimbs and claws, and spiked osteoderm growths across its body. The hybrid could run up to speeds of 30 miles per hour, and its roar alone could reach between 140 and 160 decibels, as loud as a Boeing 747 on takeoff. Indominus Rex had spiky osteoderms across its entire body and horns above its eye orbits, traits that originated from various abelisaurs used in its creation. Its osteoderms were extremely tough, being able to withstand fire from a GEM-134 minigun, and even an indirect hit from an AT-4 rocket launcher. It also had well-developed forelimbs from Therizinosaurus complete with opposable thumbs, and had sickle-shaped claws on each of its 4 fingers, with the claw in the middle finger being the longest. Its long arms also made it semi-quadrupedal. It displayed immense physical strength, able to easily slaughter an entire herd of Apatosauruses. It was also able to change color from the cuttlefish used in its creation, which was used as camouflage during hunting, but it also helped the hybrid grow at a quick rate. The Indominus Rex also appeared to have some protofeathers, mainly on its head and forelimbs. The base skin color was a grayish white, with eyes being a dark, fiery orange color. The teeth from Indominus came from Dinosuchus DNA, explaining why the teeth are exposed like a crocodile. Due to this bit of instability, its teeth would often vary in size and jut out at unnatural angles, and unfortunately, many were broken. Indominus Rex had a total of 74 teeth. Like all other theropods, as well as nearly all shark species, Indominus Rex constantly replaced its teeth. Another trait that came from the Tyrannosaurus Rex being in its gene pool was its massively strong bite force. And just to help give scale to this bite force, Indominus could use it to even crush a bulletproof gyrosphere, as well as break the neck of an Ankylosaurus. The Indominus's lower jaw was slightly longer than its upper jaw, giving it a slight underbite, and its large size can be attributed to the Giganotosaurus. The tree frog DNA, which was intended to help them adapt to the tropical climate of Isla Nublar, allowed it to remove its own thermal signature. The hybrid could also detect other thermal signatures of other species as well, due to the pit viper DNA. The snake DNA could also be the reason why it could open its jaws wider than any other of InGen's cloned theropods. Finally, the DNA of a Velociraptor used in the Indominus creation gave it a high level of intelligence, as well as the ability to communicate with other Velociraptors. InGen's chief scientist, Dr. Henry Wu, was fascinated with the idea to be able to create entirely new species by gene mixing. Ever since he learned including frog DNA had given the Jurassic Park dinosaurs the ability to switch genders. After successfully operating for 6 years, Jurassic World's profits began to dip for the first time. In 2011, Simon Masrani attended a meeting on April 4, 2012, in which the board of his company unanimously decided on a new attraction for Jurassic World, bringing in more guests and satisfying investors. After the meeting, Masrani gave Dr. Wu the approval to create a new species. The result was a genetically modified hybrid of several different dinosaurs and modern-day animals. Development began in 2012 in the Hammond Creation Lab. Unknown to Masrani was that Dr. Wu, the creator of the hybrid, had made a deal with the InGen Security Division, Commander Vic Hoskins, to weaponize it in a grand scheme to use dinosaurs in military operations and kept many of the creatures in its creation a secret. Upon Simon Masrani's announcement of the InGen hybrid, now named Indominus Rex, ticket sales soared, as well as bookings for Jurassic World took off like a pterosaur. 2 Indominus Rexes were meant to be kept inside their own paddock, with walls standing 12 meters tall. Having 2 was also planned just in case one of them died. And if you're a true Jurassic Park/Jurassic World nerd, then you know that the survival rate of a lot of these embryos was not good. However, the younger of the 2 Indominus Rexes, before it even had a chance at life, was cannibalized by her older sibling, which is the specimen that grew up and we know to this day. And it should be noted from a young age, she would also attack the workers as well. 3 weeks before the attraction was open to the public, Simon Masrani visited the paddock. He had not been able to for many months due to him being needed for several meetings and events. At the time of his visit, the lone Indominus was not yet fully grown and was only 12.2 meters long. Masrani told Claire Deering to consult Owen Grady to see if he would inspect the paddock for any vulnerabilities after seeing her attempt to break the glass in the observation deck. After masking her own heat signature, the Indominus Rex escaped from her paddock after Owen and 2 others entered thinking she had already escaped. The hybrid continued on a rampage, killing numerous park workers and animal stock on the island, causing a chain event leading to numerous animals escaping, leading to the park's overall destruction. After a failed hunt attempt using Owen's raptors, the T-Rex was unleashed on it. With Rexy, or otherwise known as Roberta, teamed up with the last raptor, Blue, pushed her towards the Mosasaurus Lagoon, where the giant creature proceeded to leap out of the water, pulling her under into the depths of her watery grave. After its death, the skeleton of the Indominus remained at the bottom of the lagoon, where a group of Marines in a submarine extracted a sample of the Indominus Rex remains. After carving off a piece of rib bone, it was sent to the surface and extracted by helicopter. The DNA taken from this rib was used to create the next stage of weaponized dinosaurs, otherwise known as the Endoraptor. And that concludes the breakdown on Indominus Rex today, I do say. Now, I hope you enjoyed these fun facts about this hybrid dinosaur / the return of my clay Jurassic World. And if you did enjoy this video today, be sure to stomp on that like button as hard as Rexy, I do say. Comment below what you think of the project and share with your dinosaur-loving friends. And if you made it this far, perhaps consider subscribing if you're new. And I just want to thank you all for your support. You're the reason I keep working very hard on making all these stop-motion monsters and dinosaurs. In this case, I'm not sure where this classifies as to whether or not it's a movie monster or a dinosaur. Obviously, it's a bit of mixture of both, but personally, I think it's more of a movie monster. And this leads me to my shameless plug for part 2, where next time I will be describing why the Indominus Rex was such a monster. And if you have any other suggestion on what kind of dinosaur or movie monster you would like to see me make next time, be sure to comment below, because I generally, take requests for most of my projects, and there's a bit of a point system. Now, I'll admit this one might be slightly out of order, but it's been over a year since I've made a dinosaur, so it feels like it's been long overdue. So hopefully this project satisfies all of you, because one thing I would like to do is to see how the Indominus Rex would fare against one of those movie monsters back there. Now, as the skull goes into the oven one last time, you could say it's time for the build rundown on the Indominus Rex, I do say. Where I'm happy to say we completed this hybrid dinosaur skeleton today. So now I'll be listing the build materials used for the skeleton, I say. We used tinfoil to save weight, you might say, oven-baked clay to make those bones, I do say, and a little bit of plasticine clay to make sure everything would stay. Now, the goal for next time is basically to cover this thing with the first layer of plasticine clay, making it more than just a fossil, I say. And one could also say I'm hoping that we can get rid of this ugly support rod, because on a more serious note, these things, well, theropods in particular, are generally very challenging to actually pull off. Due to them, well, being extremely front heavy and clay not exactly having the same strength as muscles, they are generally very difficult to get them to stand upright and stay there. So I'll admit, this skeleton is slightly oversized perhaps, mainly because I'm hoping to use essentially less plasticine clay, because oven-baked clay and tinfoil weigh a lot less than plasticine clay. That way, I'm hoping with a added weight to the tail in particular will counterbalance this dinosaur, making my life a lot easier, well, for stop motion and making it more accurate. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video today, but it's time for little clay me to take it away, I do say. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the very end of the video. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the content, comment below what you think, share with your friends, and perhaps consider subscribing if anything. Anyway, that's enough from me. Till next time, take it easy.